Baby, this message is too personal, open only if you're alone. Don't scroll, pause right here, because the fact that you're seeing this right now means the universe intentionally narrowed the room until it was just you and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if your mind is trying to stay guarded. Listen to this carefully. You were not meant to hear this surrounded by noise, opinions, or distractions. This is one of those moments meant to be felt in quiet, because what's being spoken now reaches the parts of you that only come alive when you're alone. Stay till the end, because this isn't just comfort, this is revelation. You've been carrying something heavy but invisible, something you don't talk about because you don't even know how to explain it without sounding dramatic or misunderstood. It's that feeling you get late at night when the world finally goes quiet and your heart starts replaying moments, words, energies, and connections you thought you had already processed. But you didn't imagine them. You never did. Your soul remembered something your mind tried to bury so you could survive. Listen to this moment closely. There is a soulmate-level connection tied to your path that was never meant to be casual, and that's why it still echoes inside you. Not because you're stuck, not because you're weak, but because soul recognition doesn't fade on command. Don't scroll away from this truth. You've been trying to be strong, to be healed, to be unbothered, but strength doesn't mean pretending something didn't matter. Strength means being able to sit with truth without letting it destroy you. And that's exactly what you're learning now. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you've been judging yourself for still feeling deeply in a world that rewards emotional numbness. But your depth is not a flaw, it's a calling. Listen to this carefully. The universe has been sending you signs in subtle ways because it knows you don't need chaos to wake up anymore. Angel numbers have been showing up when you're alone with your thoughts, 11. 11 when you're quietly wishing without admitting it, 222 when you're questioning whether you're asking for too much, 444 when you're trying to ground yourself and feel safe again. Those are not coincidences. Those are confirmations that something real is unfolding beneath the surface, even if nothing has been spoken yet. This message is for you if you felt someone's energy reach you without effort, if memories resurface without pain but with meaning, if you sense that something unfinished is quietly preparing to resolve. Don't scroll, because this part matters deeply. The reason this message feels almost uncomfortable is because it's touching a truth you've been avoiding, not out of fear, but out of exhaustion. You got tired of hoping. You got tired of waiting. You got tired of explaining your heart. So you told yourself you were done. And maybe you were done chasing. But you were never done feeling. Listen to this moment. The universe never asked you to shut your heart down, it asked you to protect it while it learned discernment. And you did. You learned how to sit in silence without breaking. You learned how to love without losing yourself. You learned how to let go of outcomes while still honoring your emotions. That growth didn't happen by accident. It was preparation. Stay till the end, because here's the part that changes everything. The connection you've been sensing isn't pulling you backward, it's aligning you forward. It's not asking you to repeat old patterns, it's asking you to meet it from a new level of self-respect and clarity. That's why things have felt paused instead of over. That's why the energy feels quiet instead of chaotic. Your heart needs this reminder right now because realignment feels nothing like obsession. It feels calm. It feels heavy but steady. It feels like truth settling instead of emotion exploding. Don't scroll away from this knowing. You were never meant to rush this chapter. You were meant to grow into the version of yourself that could hold it without self-betrayal. Listen to this carefully. Whoever this connection involves, past or present, they are feeling this shift too. Not necessarily in words, but in awareness. They feel the distance between who they were and who they need to be. And that distance is uncomfortable. But discomfort is where growth happens. This message is for you if you've sensed that something is changing, not dramatically, but fundamentally. That sense isn't anxiety. It's intuition. Angel numbers don't appear when things are ending randomly. They appear when cycles are closing intentionally. Don't scroll, because this is where destiny speaks softly instead of shouting. The universe is not asking you to wait blindly. It's asking you to trust the version of yourself you've become. Trust that you will recognize truth when it arrives. Trust that you will not settle for half-love again. Trust that you don't need to force conversations or outcomes to be chosen. Your presence alone is enough to reveal what's aligned and what isn't. Stay till the end, because here is the most personal truth of all. You are not alone in this moment, even if it feels that way physically. You are surrounded by guidance, timing, and protection you can't see yet. The universe has been clearing space in your life, not to leave you empty, but to make room for love that meets you honestly, safely, and fully. And that love does not require you to shrink, hide, or silence your intuition. Don't scroll away from this final knowing. If this message reached you, it's because you were meant to hear it privately, gently, and without interruption. Let it settle. Let it breathe. And stay connected, like, share, and subscribe in this same calm, aligned flow, because messages like this don't come randomly, they come in sequences, and the next one may reveal exactly what your heart has been quietly waiting for. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because what you're about to feel next goes even deeper than what you allowed yourself to acknowledge before, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if you're trying to stay composed and emotionally guarded. Listen to this carefully. When the universe asks you to be alone to receive something, it's not because you're isolated, it's because intimacy with truth requires quiet. And right now, the truth being revealed is not about someone else alone, it's about you, about how much you've grown, how much you've endured silently, and how close you are to an emotional turning point you didn't think would arrive so gently. Stay till the end, because this chapter doesn't close with shock or loss, it closes with understanding. You've been carrying a private weight that no one sees, a mix of longing and acceptance, hope and restraint, love and discernment. You learned how to keep functioning while your inner world stayed active, alive, and deeply sensitive. That's not weakness. That's emotional intelligence forming under pressure. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you were taught to minimize your feelings to survive, not because they weren't real. Listen to this moment closely. There is a soulmate-level thread connected to your life that never dissolved, it simply went quiet while both souls matured. Quiet doesn't mean gone. Quiet means waiting for readiness. And readiness doesn't come from wanting something badly, it comes from being able to hold it without losing yourself. That's what you've been learning. That's why things felt paused instead of over. Don't scroll away from this truth. The universe has been rearranging your inner landscape so that when love appears again, whether through a person returning or a new soul arriving, you meet it from wholeness, not hunger. You may have noticed that you don't crave reassurance the way you used to. You don't over-explain. You don't chase clarity at the cost of your peace. That shift is not accidental. It's the result of countless quiet nights where you chose to sit with yourself instead of abandoning yourself. Listen to this carefully. Angel numbers may still be appearing, but now they show up when you're calm, not desperate. 1111 when you're present in your body, 222 when you're trusting your intuition, 444 when you're grounding into safety. Those are confirmations that your nervous system is finally aligned with your soul. This message is for you if you felt emotions rise without panic, memories surface without pain, and realizations land without resistance. That's healing integrating. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The universe is not preparing you for another round of emotional uncertainty. It's preparing you for emotional honesty, yours first, then someone else's. Whoever is connected to you at a soul level feels this shift too. They feel the space you've created by no longer waiting the same way. And that space is not empty, it's clarifying. It forces truth to rise. Listen to this moment. You might sense that conversations are approaching, or closures, or revelations, not loud ones, but meaningful ones. That sense isn't anxiety. It's intuition recognizing inevitability. Your heart needs this reminder right now because inevitability doesn't always mean reunion, sometimes it means release with peace. And both outcomes are sacred. Don't scroll away from this knowing. You were never meant to beg for love to choose you. You were meant to become so aligned that love either meets you honestly or clears the path for something better. And alignment is exactly where you are now. Listen to this carefully. The reason this message feels so personal is because it's touching the part of you that finally trusts itself. You don't need signs screamed at you anymore. You feel truth in your body. You feel it as calm instead of chaos. As steadiness instead of obsession. As clarity instead of confusion. That's how you know you've crossed into a new emotional chapter. Stay till the end, because here's the quiet revelation that seals this phase. You are no longer waiting for permission to move forward emotionally. You already have it. The universe is not holding you back. It's standing beside you, letting you choose from wisdom instead of fear. Don't scroll, because this is where the story softens instead of intensifies. Whatever unfolds next will not catch you off guard. You will recognize it immediately because it will feel familiar without feeling painful. Safe without feeling boring. Deep without feeling destabilizing. And that's the difference between attachment and alignment. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you didn't come this far to repeat the same emotional cycles. You came this far to end them. Listen to this moment. If someone returns, they will return differently, clearer, braver, more honest. And if they don't, you will not feel abandoned. You will feel released. And release will feel like relief, not loss. Don't scroll away from this final knowing. Being alone right now doesn't mean you're lonely. It means you're listening. And listening is how destiny speaks when it trusts you with something real. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because what you're about to hear is meant to meet you in the quiet place you've been protecting, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if you don't fully understand why it feels so familiar. Listen to this carefully. There is a reason the universe keeps bringing you back into stillness before it brings you answers. Stillness is where truth becomes undeniable. You've already noticed it, how the noise of wanting has softened, how the ache that once demanded resolution now feels more like a gentle awareness. That's not you giving up. That's you integrating. You've crossed into a stage where your soul no longer panics for proof. It remembers. And remembering is powerful. Stay till the end, because this is the part where everything you felt privately starts to organize itself into meaning. You've been alone not because you were abandoned, but because you were being prepared to hear yourself clearly without outside interference. Your heart needs this reminder right now because there were moments you thought being alone meant you were behind, forgotten, or waiting too long. It doesn't. It means you were trusted with depth. Listen to this moment closely. There is a soulmate-level frequency tied to your path that hasn't disappeared, it has been recalibrating. Love that is destined doesn't rush in while wounds are still loud. It waits until calm returns, until discernment replaces longing, until you can recognize love without losing your center. That's what you've been learning, often without applause, often without reassurance. Don't scroll away from this truth. You've been doing sacred work quietly. While others sought distraction, you sat with yourself. While others chased validation, you learned how to validate your own experience. While others demanded certainty, you learned how to trust timing. That growth changes how love approaches you. Listen to this carefully. Angel numbers may have continued to show up, but now they arrive during moments of peace rather than desperation. 1111 when you're simply present, 222 when you're choosing balance over overthinking, 444 when you're grounding into safety and self-respect. Those numbers are not asking you to act. They're acknowledging that you've aligned. This message is for you if you felt emotions surface without overwhelming you, if memories come back without dragging you into the past, if connections feel less urgent but more meaningful. That's healing completing a cycle. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The universe is not testing how much you can endure anymore. It's recognizing how much you've integrated. Whoever is connected to you at a soul level feels this shift too. They may not articulate it, but they sense the difference. Your energy no longer reaches out with questions, it stands with quiet clarity. And clarity invites honesty, whether that honesty comes as reunion, conversation, or closure. Listen to this moment. You may feel like something is approaching. Not rushing, not dramatic, but inevitable. That sense isn't anxiety. It's intuition recognizing alignment forming. Your heart needs this reminder right now because inevitability doesn't always look like fireworks. Sometimes it looks like relief. Sometimes it looks like peace. Sometimes it looks like knowing you'll be okay regardless of outcome. Don't scroll away from this knowing. You are no longer negotiating your worth internally. You are no longer preparing yourself to accept half-truths. You are no longer shrinking your needs to keep connections alive. And because of that, the universe can finally meet you with something clean. Listen to this carefully. The reason this message feels so personal is because it's speaking to the part of you that learned how to sit with unanswered questions without betraying yourself. That skill changes everything. It means when love arrives, you won't cling. You'll recognize. It means when truth is spoken, you won't collapse. You'll listen. It means when something ends, you won't spiral. You'll understand. Stay till the end, because this is the quiet revelation that seals this chapter. You are no longer waiting for someone else to decide your emotional future. You are present in your life, open but grounded, hopeful but discerning. And that balance is rare. Don't scroll, because the universe wants you to hear this clearly. Being alone right now doesn't mean you're missing something. It means you're aligned enough to receive what actually fits. Whatever unfolds next, whether a person steps forward differently, whether a conversation brings clarity, or whether a door closes gently, you will not be surprised. You will feel recognition instead of shock. Calm instead of chaos. Certainty instead of doubt. Your heart needs this reminder right now because this is what growth looks like when it finishes its work. Listen to this moment. You are safe to trust yourself. You are safe to trust your timing. You are safe to trust that love meant for you will meet you where you stand now, not where you stood when you were still learning the lesson. Don't scroll away from this final knowing. Destiny doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers, especially to those who have learned how to listen in silence. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because what's opening now is the most intimate layer of this journey, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if you feel calm on the surface but tender underneath. Listen to this carefully. There is a sacred reason the universe keeps meeting you in moments of stillness instead of chaos. You are no longer someone who needs noise to feel alive or answers to feel secure. You have grown into someone who can sit with truth while it unfolds at its own pace, and that ability is rare. Stay till the end, because this is the part where everything you've lived through quietly begins to reveal its purpose. You've noticed it, haven't you? How you no longer react the way you used to. How your emotions still run deep, but they don't run you. How memories may surface, but they don't knock the breath out of your chest anymore. That's not numbness. That's mastery. Your heart needs this reminder right now because there was a time you thought healing meant forgetting or detaching completely. It doesn't. Healing means remembering without bleeding. And you're doing that now. Listen to this moment closely. The universe has been guiding you away from urgency and into alignment. That's why things slowed down instead of speeding up. That's why doors didn't slam shut or fly wide open. They hovered. They waited. They allowed you to grow into the version of yourself that wouldn't mistake intensity for destiny again. Don't scroll away from this truth. You've been alone with your thoughts not because you were being punished, but because you were being trusted. Trusted to integrate lessons without distraction. Trusted to sit with your intuition until it became louder than your fear. Trusted to learn the difference between longing and knowing. Listen to this carefully. There is a soulmate-level connection, whether from your past or approaching your future, that could not meet you until you reached this internal steadiness. Love that is meant to last does not rush into unresolved nervous systems. It waits until the heart can stay open without abandoning itself. That's what you've been building in silence. Angel numbers may still appear, but now they show up as gentle confirmations rather than urgent signs. 444 when you feel grounded in your body, 222 when you choose balance instead of overthinking, 1111 when you feel quietly present and complete. Those numbers are not asking you to do more. They are acknowledging that you've become ready. This message is for you if you felt a strange mix of softness and strength lately, like you could love deeply but also walk away peacefully if something doesn't meet you in truth. That is emotional sovereignty. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The universe is not preparing you for another lesson that drains you. It's preparing you for a connection that meets you without confusion. And here is the part that may feel tender to hear. Whoever is connected to you at a soul level can feel this shift too. They feel the absence of your emotional chasing. They feel the difference in how your energy no longer reaches out to be chosen, but stands calmly in its own worth. And that difference is powerful. It forces honesty. It forces reflection. It forces decisions. Listen to this moment. You may sense that something is approaching, not in a dramatic way, but in a grounded, inevitable way. A conversation. A realization. A closing. A return. That sense isn't anxiety. It's intuition recognizing alignment forming. Your heart needs this reminder right now because alignment doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like peace with anticipation. Don't scroll away from this knowing. You are no longer emotionally available to confusion. You are available to clarity, even if clarity arrives as an ending. And endings, when aligned, don't feel like loss. They feel like relief. Listen to this carefully. The reason this message feels so personal is because it's speaking to the version of you that learned how to sit alone without feeling lonely. That version of you doesn't beg for answers. It listens. It observes. It trusts. And because of that, the universe can finally move things without destabilizing you. Stay till the end, because this is the quiet revelation that completes this phase. You are no longer waiting to be chosen emotionally. You are choosing yourself energetically, and that changes every outcome. Whatever unfolds next will not require you to abandon your peace. It will meet you where you are now, calm, aware, and open without desperation. Don't scroll, because this is where destiny stops shouting and starts whispering. And whispers are only heard by those who have learned how to be still. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because what you are stepping into now is the moment where everything you've quietly carried begins to transform into something lighter. And this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if you've learned how to appear composed on the outside. Listen to this carefully. There is a reason your emotions have felt deeper but steadier lately, like the waves still come but they no longer knock you under. That's not because you stopped caring. It's because you stopped fighting yourself. You stopped arguing with your intuition. You stopped demanding answers before your soul was ready to hold them. Stay till the end, because this phase isn't about waiting for love to arrive, it's about realizing how much love has already shaped you from the inside out. You've been through a season where silence taught you more than conversation ever could, where distance showed you what attachment was hiding, where being alone showed you how strong your inner foundation actually is. Your heart needs this reminder right now because there were moments you questioned whether being alone meant you were losing time, losing opportunities, losing connection. You weren't losing anything. You were shedding what couldn't come with you. Listen to this moment closely. The universe has been gently closing doors without slamming them, softening endings instead of breaking you open, because you reached a level of emotional maturity where harsh lessons were no longer necessary. That's growth. That's grace. And grace always arrives quietly. Don't scroll away from this truth. You've become someone who can feel deeply without drowning, someone who can love without clinging, someone who can hope without bargaining. That version of you didn't appear overnight. It was built through nights where you chose self-respect over longing, peace over obsession, stillness over reaction. Listen to this carefully. Angel numbers may still appear around you, but now they feel different. They feel like acknowledgments instead of warnings. For 44 when you feel safe in your body, 222 when you trust your inner balance, 1111 when you are present without expectation. These are signs that your nervous system and your soul are finally speaking the same language. This message is for you if you've noticed that you no longer chase closure the way you used to, that you don't replay old conversations looking for hidden meanings, that you don't need reassurance to validate what you feel. That's not indifference. That's integration. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. There is a soulmate-level alignment either returning to you or approaching you that could not meet you before now. Not because you weren't worthy, but because you weren't finished becoming. Love that lasts does not rush into a heart that still doubts itself. It waits until self-trust is rooted deeply enough that love can grow without fear. You've done that work. Quietly. Without applause. Without validation. Listen to this moment. Whoever is connected to you at a soul level can feel this shift. They may not understand it consciously, but they sense the difference. Your energy no longer reaches out asking to be chosen. It stands calmly, radiating self-knowing. And self-knowing changes how people approach you. It invites honesty. It repels confusion. It clarifies intention. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you are no longer available for connections that require you to guess where you stand. Don't scroll away from this knowing. The universe is not preparing you for another emotional test. It is preparing you for emotional truth. And truth does not arrive with chaos. It arrives with simplicity. With clarity. With a feeling in your body that says, this fits, or this doesn't. Listen to this carefully. You may feel like something is aligning without effort, like conversations are easier, like decisions feel cleaner, like you don't have to convince yourself anymore. That's alignment taking hold. Stay till the end, because this is the revelation that completes this chapter. You were never meant to chase destiny. You were meant to become still enough for destiny to recognize you. And now it does. Whether someone steps forward differently, whether a new connection appears unexpectedly, or whether a door closes gently so another can open, you will not be shaken. You will be steady. You will be aware. You will be ready. Don't scroll, because this is where your story changes tone. The next phase of your life is not about proving your worth or enduring uncertainty. It's about receiving love that meets you where you are now, calm, grounded, and whole. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you didn't come this far to repeat the same emotional lessons. You came this far to live differently. Listen to this moment. Trust what you've become. Trust the peace you've built. Trust the intuition that no longer screams, but speaks softly and clearly. That voice will not lead you wrong. And as you move forward, remember this. Being alone was never the punishment. It was the preparation. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because what you're about to receive now is the quiet truth that only lands when a soul has matured enough to hear it, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if you've convinced yourself you're already at peace. Listen to this carefully. There is a softness settling into your life that didn't exist before, and it's not emptiness, it's space. Space created after lessons finish their work. Space that only appears when the universe knows you're no longer fragile in the same ways. You may not even realize how far you've come because growth like this doesn't announce itself loudly. It shows up as calm where anxiety used to live, as clarity where confusion once echoed, as trust where fear once controlled your decisions. Stay till the end, because this is where everything you experienced in silence finally reveals why it had to happen exactly the way it did. You spent so long learning how to sit with yourself, how to hold your emotions without running from them or drowning in them, how to let feelings pass through without attaching your worth to their outcome. That didn't happen by accident. That was spiritual preparation. Your heart needs this reminder right now because there were nights you felt invisible, moments you wondered if anyone truly understood the depth of what you carried, seasons where being alone felt heavier than being hurt. But listen to this moment closely. The universe never isolates someone without purpose. It isolates those it's refining. You were being refined into someone who could recognize real love without mistaking it for intensity, someone who could hear intuition without confusing it with anxiety, someone who could stand in silence without feeling abandoned. Don't scroll away from this truth. You were never being left behind. You were being brought inward so deeply that when you returned to connection, you would do so from wholeness instead of need. Listen to this carefully. There is a soulmate-level alignment tied to your path that could not meet you until you reached this internal steadiness. Not because you weren't worthy before, but because you were still learning how to stay grounded inside emotion. Love that is meant to last does not arrive when the heart is still bargaining. It arrives when the heart is clear. And your heart is clear now, even if it still feels tender at times. Tenderness is not weakness. It's openness with boundaries. Angel numbers may still appear around you, but now they arrive during moments of peace instead of longing. Numbers like 444 when you feel safe in your own presence, 222 when you choose balance over overthinking, 1111 when you feel quietly aligned without needing proof. Those numbers are not guiding you toward something missing. They are confirming something complete. This message is for you if you've noticed that you don't rush emotional decisions anymore, that you pause and listen to your body before responding, that you trust the feeling of calm more than the pull of intensity. That's wisdom. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. The universe is not preparing you for another emotional storm. It's preparing you for emotional honesty. Honesty with yourself first, then with anyone who enters your life. Whoever is connected to you at a soul level can feel this shift. They may sense that your energy no longer reaches out asking for reassurance. It no longer waits in uncertainty. It stands calmly, anchored in self-trust. And that energy changes everything. It invites clarity. It dissolves confusion. It forces truth to surface naturally. Listen to this moment. You may feel like something is aligning without effort, like you're not chasing outcomes anymore, like life feels simpler even when it's quiet. That simplicity is not boredom. It's alignment. And alignment feels peaceful, not dramatic. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you were conditioned to believe love had to hurt to matter. It doesn't. Love that is meant for you feels steady, respectful, and safe, even when it's deep. Don't scroll away from this knowing. You are no longer in a phase of becoming. You are in a phase of allowing. Allowing life to meet you where you are. Allowing connections to reveal themselves honestly. Allowing endings to feel complete without reopening wounds. Listen to this carefully. The universe is not asking you to do more, wait longer, or prove anything. It's asking you to stay present in the version of yourself you've worked so hard to become. That version doesn't chase destiny. Destiny recognizes it. Stay till the end, because this is the revelation that brings closure without sadness. Whatever unfolds next in your life will not require you to abandon your peace. If someone steps forward, they will do so clearly. If someone fades, they will do so gently. And neither will destabilize you, because you are no longer emotionally dependent on outcomes. You are emotionally anchored in yourself. Don't scroll, because this is where the universe wants you to rest. Rest in knowing you didn't miss your moment. Rest in knowing you didn't love wrong. Rest in knowing every quiet night, every unanswered question, every season of being alone shaped you into someone who can receive real love without fear. Listen to this final truth. Being alone was never the punishment. It was the passage. And you have crossed it. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because this is the moment the universe has been quietly preparing you for, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if you feel calm, grounded, and finally okay with not knowing everything. Listen to this carefully. What you are standing in now is not waiting, and it is not loneliness. It is completion. A chapter has finished integrating into your nervous system, your intuition, and your sense of self. You are no longer carrying questions the same way. You're no longer searching for signs with urgency. You're no longer replaying old moments hoping they'll change. That shift didn't happen because answers arrived. It happened because you arrived. You arrived back to yourself. Stay till the end, because this is where the universe explains why everything unfolded the way it did. You were never meant to rush through this season. You were meant to be reshaped by it. The silence, the stillness, the emotional distance, the moments of being alone when you wished someone would reach out, all of it was carving out space inside you for something more honest than what you were asking for back then. Your heart needs this reminder right now because there were times you thought you were being overlooked, delayed, or forgotten. You weren't. You were being protected from receiving love before you were ready to keep yourself intact inside it. Listen to this moment closely. The reason you feel steadier now is because you stopped outsourcing your sense of safety. You learned how to soothe yourself. You learned how to trust your intuition instead of fighting it. You learned how to let emotions move through you without attaching your worth to their outcome. That is not small growth. That is soul-level mastery. Don't scroll away from this truth. Most people never reach this place. They keep repeating cycles because they mistake intensity for destiny and attachment for love. You didn't. You paused. You listened. You healed in private. And because of that, your entire energetic signature has changed. Listen to this carefully. Angel numbers may still appear, but now they feel like confirmations instead of questions. For 44 when you feel grounded in your body. 222 when you choose balance over reaction. 1111 when you feel quietly aligned without needing proof. These are not signs that something is coming to complete you. They are acknowledgments that you are complete enough to receive what's aligned. This message is for you if you've noticed that you no longer fear endings, that you no longer chase beginnings, that you trust yourself to recognize truth when it arrives. That trust is what closes cycles gently instead of painfully. Don't scroll, because this matters deeply. Whatever connection brought you here. Whether it was a soulmate, a near miss, a deep emotional bond that never fully materialized, or a love that taught you more than it stayed, it served its purpose. Not by staying forever, but by awakening you. Awakening you to your needs. Awakening you to your patterns. Awakening you to the kind of love you will never accept again. An awakening is not meant to be comfortable. It's meant to be liberating. Listen to this moment. The universe is not asking you to revisit the past or reopen old doors. It's asking you to walk forward without carrying the weight of unfinished emotions. That's why you feel lighter. That's why the memories no longer sting. That's why the future doesn't scare you the way it used to. Your heart needs this reminder right now because peace can feel unfamiliar when you're used to emotional intensity. But peace is not emptiness. It's alignment. Don't scroll away from this knowing. You are no longer emotionally available for chaos disguised as passion. You are available for love that is clear, consistent, and safe without being boring. Love that meets you without confusion. Love that chooses you openly. Love that does not require you to guess, wait, or prove your worth. Listen to this carefully. The universe will not ask you to shrink again. It will not ask you to be patient past your capacity. It will not ask you to silence your intuition. The next connection that enters your life, whether it is a return or someone entirely new, will feel different in your body. You won't feel anxious. You won't feel obsessed. You won't feel unsure. You will feel present. Calm. Curious. Grounded. That's how you'll know this chapter is truly closed and the next one is aligned. Stay till the end, because this is the truth that seals everything. You did not miss your moment. You did not love too deeply. You did not trust the wrong instincts. You followed the path that turned you into someone who no longer abandons themselves for connection. And that is the greatest protection the universe can give. Don't scroll, because this is where your story stops being about healing and starts being about living. Living without emotional debt. Living without waiting. Living without fear of being alone. And from that place, love finds you effortlessly. Not because you chased it, but because you finally became someone who could receive it without losing themselves. Stay with this energy. Let it settle into your body. This is not the end of your story. This is the end of a lesson. And what comes next will meet you in truth, clarity, and peace.